we destroy. We're going to keep building up the same structure, the same governing structure, because it's founded upon the same principle, and that principle is a lack of self-governance, an incapacity for freedom, anxiety to freedom. So that is why I say you're not going to change a thing unless you understand that your consciousness, your awareness, your inner psychological state of self-governing, self-governance and self-responsibility, that is what will make you free. Nothing else will make you free if you are not free on the inside.
Well stated, Ben. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this hour. It is very enlightening. I love your films. I hope you keep making them. I hope people are helping you out. Can you buy that? Can you buy Kaimatica?
Absolutely. It's if you go to talismanicidols.org and just click on Kaimatica and purchase, you can order that. You can go to esotericagenda.net if you want to purchase that. And I encourage anybody and everybody to email me, talismanicidols@gmail.com. Just anyone can email me with any questions on anything they'd like. I try to get back to everybody.
All right. Thank you, Ben.
No problem.
But I've made my plans already.
All right. Welcome back to the Freezone. Have you made your plans already? I do love that song. I love the idea that people are questioning why. And that is the true path out of this mess. You start asking why. Why does this all exist? Why is the civilization doing what it's doing? Why do I think that man is my leader? Well, I wanted to take some phone calls for sure here in this second hour, and you can call in at 512-904-8014 or toll free internationally 1-866-841-1065. So we'll be taking those calls in just a second. I wanted to talk about doomsday scenarios. I really did. Could a doomsday scenario in your mind be a good thing? Could it be a positive answer? It's a curious thing when you think it might be the end of the world. Now, I must admit I was listening to Dr. Doom, Major Ed Dames, who was the head of SciTech and is now the head of Matrix Intelligence Agency, who does remote viewing, psychic remote viewing for Fortune 500 companies and pretty much whoever can afford it. But all of a sudden, Major Ed Dames kind of taken a bit of a turn. He started to go into looking out into our future, and his prognosis is grim. And you could hear it in his voice, and you could hear the change in his system where he was just like, well, you know what? The hell with it. Just take what I got. Here it is. I'm going to give it all away for free. I'm going to teach everyone remote viewing for free because the end is nigh. The end is upon us. And he firmly believes this. As far as I could judge from his conversation, he really, really felt like it was the end. But at the same time, as you start to discover the end, as you start to believe in these scenarios, then you start to understand what's actually important in life, what is necessary, and what you truly love and consider worthy. Now, Major Ed Dames, I do have the first training tape from SciTech. I have practiced a little bit of remote viewing, but it is a trained practice, and I'm not all that disciplined, so it takes some time to get that practice down. Although I believe I would be a natural. I seem to be picking up on things, and it's a curious thing. So Major Ed Dames says that in 5 to 6 months, there will be an earthquake in Nevada. This will be followed by North Korea dropping a nuke on South Korea. And this would be coupled with a global financial meltdown. That's September this year. And the global financial meltdown would be coupled with a bird flu pandemic. And this would be followed by a war with Israel versus Iran. And then all culminating in what he calls the kill shot, which is a massive solar flare coming in to wipe out most of life on planet Earth. And you got to wonder, what is it like to actually believe this kind of stuff? And I know a lot of us have this concept. There was nothing that Major Ed Dames, or some call him Dr. Doom, said that I had not already considered myself. Obviously, I'm busy looking at these incoming meteors, and there just happened to be another one with the sonic boom last Sunday that I haven't done a full workup on yet. And so I am kind of looking at this end of the world scenario. But at the same time, they're programming it into us. How many Discovery History Channel shows have we seen on incoming asteroids, or the great solar wave that hits planet Earth, or the movies coming out like 2012 or the recent release of Watchmen? All of it seems to be programming into our consciousness this idea of doomsday. And then always the Superman there to save us. Is Obama our Morgan Freeman? Is he there to save the day? Is he Superman like he said, and his father Jor-El sent him here to save planet Earth? I doubt it. I really do. But at the same time, what I have discovered for myself is this concept of not having a future, this concept of not projecting into the future, but just living in the here and now, is actually a great thing. Is actually a wonderful way to bring miracles into your own existence, a great way for you to realize what is important in your life and then stick to that. And if people were to start to catch on that, the world could end tomorrow, like I say, I carry around a picture of a galaxy colliding with another galaxy just to keep it all in perspective. If this could happen, then what's important today? What should you be focused on right here and now? Instead of this idea of projecting your life into some phantasm future, this conceptualized future that you think you're going to get, which is actually a bunch of predictive programming coming out of corporations like Disney, and start to just live in the now, It'd be so much easier if we sat around and were fiddling in our gardens, communicating with one another, and growing what we need, loving one another, and just doing the do. But then everyone is concerned about progress. What about progress? Well, I'll tell you this right now. The Romans had flushing toilets. What is progress? When we start to look into that scenario, you definitely come up with some deep, dark ideas. Because most of what we call progress is these occult orders getting their technological advancements on planet Earth, and they're not for your benefit whatsoever. So where are we now? And could a doomsday scenario actually help the planet? Could it actually help our consciousness to remove ourselves from the victim mentality? Basically you're like, oh, well, hell with it. I'm dead tomorrow. Why go to work today, right? So we might just start to uncover our own potential and discover our own miraculous existence. I don't think having a doomsday scenario in your mind is necessarily a bad thing, as long as you don't take it to the point where you're freaking out, building a bunker, and going crazy. And that's what tends to happen, is they promote and project these type of doomsday scenarios. I've been through so many of them now. There was, of course, Y2K, and a curious note there. I'm telling people, hey, the DoD, FEMA is saying that we should probably have 3 days of food and water on supply. And they're saying to me, what are you, a nut? You're going to be in some bunker somewhere. You don't really think this is going to happen. I'm like, well, I don't know. The government's saying have 3 days of food and water. What's the harm in that? No, I'm not going to be in a bunker. But that's the immediate reaction to people if they start to suggest that the future is not what they expect it to be. And on that same level, we get what we expect. And sometimes I really wonder if consciousness, if our own collective consciousness all throughout humanity is not actually playing out and manifesting itself in this holographic universe. And is this the reason that they program us, put these thoughts into our minds, so that we will then generate the very incident that they wanted us to generate? And I'm not even talking about on a very basic third-dimensional level. I'm talking in the fifth and sixth dimensions, where we're out creating reality as a holographic reality. It's something we need to think about. And it's definitely something I consider when I'm writing articles about Obama, clones, and asteroids, and then Obama comes out and talks about clones and an asteroid almost hits the planet, and it's named after the clone that I was saying Obama might be. You know, this is a mind-boggler for me. Is it the chicken or the egg? I don't know. I certainly didn't see that one coming at all. So is it a good thing, a bad thing, the doomsday scenario? Could this release us from the mental binds, the limitations that we have in front of us, or could it just lead to utter chaos and what people consider anarchy? Let's go live to the phone, see what you think.